Well, happy Tuesday to you, sports fan. I'm Adam Diehl. This is the rundown. We're picking up now. We're into the thick of things. As tomorrow, it's opening night for high school football. And, of course, we're going to have the broadcast for you here on Proview Sports. And we're going to go into our whole schedule momentarily. We're going to get what the guys think, and we're going to go over some of our picks that's already coming this week because we've got to pick the games, right? That's fun. But our first game, of course, is Atrisco Heritage and Monzano from Community Stadium, and so we're going to preview that game tomorrow, as well as we build into all these games from Wednesday until Saturday. A big slate in front of you. First, though, we have our very first top 10 poll of the season in 6A football. And so that now being introduced. And yeah, I'll tell you what, Las Cruces is returning all the skill position players in all the right places, and they're going to be very dangerous. Their inside line, interior, that's going to be the question mark, but it's Las Cruces. They rebuild. So interesting. We'll see. I'll just get the guys' opinion on this top 10 poll here in a moment. Rio Rancho, they're number 2, the defending state champs, and once removed from a state championship, the Cleveland Storm, they're number 3. Cleveland is going to take on Oñate to start the season. Monzano very well could win the blue this year. They've got the talent. 10 of 11 starters defensively. Jordan Bird's going to be playing quarterback. They have the weapons on offense. This is a very, very dangerous team from District 2. Mayfield may be one of those teams also that could win the blue. I'll tell you, from those front 5, any one of them can make the run, and it wouldn't surprise me. Mayfield is loaded with amongst talent that was so young last year that's returning a lot of starters. And, of course, you know, they have the winning tradition. So Mayfield, number 5 on the other end. La Cueva, they're impressing. We've gone out there a couple of times. In fact, we're going to show you something from La Cueva in just a moment. Number 6 on our top 10 poll. They've got the defense that can make some upsets. They maybe have the outside chance besides that first 5 to get to the blue. Clovis, a new look. We're going to find out how they're going to be this year without Coach Eric Roanhouse. But they've got talent. Clovis, highly touted, had a really good offseason. Number 7, Centennial, coming off a quarterfinal season last year before they lost to Monzano. They've got a lot of talent as well. It's an interesting district that they reside in. Centennial, number 8, Volcano Vista. We never really know what to expect from Coach Chad Wallen, but some young talent that's really translated into something special this summer. They're number 9 out of District 1. And then El Dorado Eagles, not really sure what to expect at 10. It could have gone to Hobbs or maybe Carlsbad. El Dorado, of course, is right there. Maybe Atrisco sitting on the outside. So a lot of these teams flirting with the top 10 as we start the season. So there you go. That's our first top 10. Of course, you would imagine things going to really change for this upcoming season. We're going to have to find out. Let's now take a look as we were able to catch up with the La Cueva Bears. La Cueva in District 2 trying to keep pace with Monzano. Can they do it? Well, our man Austin Denton was there to find out with Coach Back.
Preseason coverage continues here on Proview Networks. Today, we're live from La Cueva High School as they are practicing behind us. And we got the chance to talk to head coach Brandon Back. And he told us that of the 22 starters that they will have this season, 10 of them started as sophomores. So this team is young, but they're also experienced.
Well, sometimes you get so wrapped up in wins and losses you forget to work on your culture, and I think I've failed in that the last couple of years, working on so many X's and O's things and forgetting to work about the things that we try to teach in football and the life lessons we try to use for this great game. So choose the right and which is CTR and win the day. Those are two things we picked up from a couple of other guys. Nia Montalolo at Navy, we got a chance to listen to him and talk to him about the culture he established at Navy, and he just really drove it home that you got to be working on culture as much as you're working on X's and O's. And so that's been a big focus for us in the off season and in the summer. We put a lot of emphasis on that, and the kids have really taken a hold of that, and so we're excited about that. Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, it's hard to start a young kid and a sophomore, and the speed from C team up to varsity is pretty quick. But the sophomores we've been putting out there, we believe in their talent, we believe in their ability, and we give them the opportunity to do that and learn. So I don't think that frightens us too much, but we're just going to see how it pays off in the long run. Well, for us, if you look at last season, their quarterback made so many plays out of the pocket, and so for our big focus for Cibola this year is trying to keep the quarterbacks they have. You know, they have Marcus Steele, who is one of the most athletic guys in the state down there playing quarterback, so we know he's going to be a guy who can do things with his feet and get out of the pocket. So for us, it's been focusing on keeping guys in the pocket where they're supposed to be and getting a good defensive pass rush for us. That's the big emphasis for us on defense. And then offensively, it's just growing and understanding the offense a little bit more and giving those playmakers some time to get into space and make plays.
All right. Perfect. La Cueva will open up their season against Cibola next Friday night at Community Stadium, and hopefully their success in the offseason can translate here onto the field as the team was the Metro Passing League champions. Reporting here from La Cueva High School, I'm Austin Denton, Proview Networks.
Good stuff by Austin Denton. La Cueva looking promising. We're going to talk about their matchup, which is going to be on My 50 TV on Friday night, and talk about all of our matchups coming up here on Proview Sports Network when we return. Come on back on the rundown.
They'll just crash forward with it. Is it a touchdown? They're signaling it.
forward in space. Lynch onside. Lynch cuts it back. Lynch easy does it. Goal number 1 for the Lobos this morning.
Jennings far post, and she's got side net.
Look at this. A quick start for the Lobos. 1-0.
Ladera Golf Course. Opened in 1980, Ladera features a full 18 including spacious greens, a large driving range, roomy practice putting greens, and 4 large lakes. Surrounding Ladera, beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains to the east and volcanoes to the west. Ladera is a challenging city-owned course with the longest playing yardage of any other city courses. For weekend tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449. VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies. Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf Dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting 2 teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
Well, let's take a good look at our schedule this week on Proview Sports Network. Really excited as everything gets started, obviously, and really busy here going forward on live broadcasts that you could always watch. Now, if you ever want to see our live schedule, everything also streams, that's high school sports, on our partner, the NFHS Network. So if you don't have Proview Sports Network on Comcast 26, you could always stream through our partners on the NFHS Network, and every link will be up. You could follow us on Twitter. You see there at Proview TV, as we'll release our schedule, highlights, and so much more that you could be a part of. But go to our website, www.proviewNetworks.com, and you can click on our live schedule link on the top of the page, and you could get a link to each and every broadcast that we do. And so let's go over what our schedule is, and we'll start with what is the opener for the entire state of New Mexico on a Wednesday night. The 5th-year tradition continues from Newsenda Community Stadium. Trisco Heritage going to take on Monzano the Monarchs. This will be at 7 p.m. We'll have coverage for you leading up into the game and the kickoff, and so Monzano obviously is supposed to be very good. So I'm going to kick it over now Thursday as Thursday night football. Maybe one of the more hard picks, and we're going to show you our picks here, the ProView crew, in a moment, but Del Norte is going to take on West Mesa. That's a Thursday game that's live here on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26. Sandia and Rio Grande, that's your first Friday game. Remember, there's 2 games from Newsenda Stadium. The first one is on Comcast 26 at 5 p.m. As we continue then, the 7 o'clock game, maybe the game of the week, Mayfield's taking on the Rio Rancho High School Rams, 2 potential teams that could win the blue. That'll be at 7 p.m. It'll be on Comcast 26 immediately following Sandia Rio Grande. As we continue just streaming live on the NFHS Network, will be Cleveland taking on Oñate. St. Pius, the defending 5A champs, against Highland. That'll also be streamed live through the NFHS Network and then re-aired here on ProView. And then our My 50 game of the week. It's the second game at Newsenda Stadium. Says Wilson there, but we'll be from Newsenda. It's Cibola taking on La Cueva. That could be seen on My 50 TV and also streamed live on the NFHS Network. And then, of course, Saturday morning, we've got the Yaffle games of the week for you. How about Highland finally getting that Yaffle team, the younger ones? Highland's going to take on Volcano Vista in the sophomore division. And then our latter game, how about an old school rivalry now? Rio Rancho taking on Cleveland. And then we'll cap it all off. A big week. Saturday from Newsenda Stadium, last high school game, Valley and Volcano Vista right here on ProView Sports Network. All live. So what a schedule we have. Jason Pohl, you're directing back there. So you tell me, what game are you most looking forward to on that list that we've got, man?
I definitely just like the opener, Monzano Trisco. I mean, I just want to get it going. We've been cooped up in our offices.
Yeah. You haven't even left there yet?
Just get it going, right? Like, we're just stuck in here. I want to get it going. And I want to see if Bird, of course, and see if he's taking off. Trisco, don't really know much about. But also I'd like to see that on Yonsei.
I don't think anybody knows much about Atrisco other than Patrick Johnson, thinks that he's got a chance to win district, which we always thought. But I'm curious, too. Are they going to be a team that's a little bit – he thinks this is going to be one of his better teams that he's had, so I'm very curious. Alden, what are you looking forward to in that slate that we've got starting tomorrow?
I'm interested to see definitely how Manzano does week one. Ed and Scott were talking about on the sports desk how Ivy Sod may have gotten an upper body injury and he might not be able to play this weekend. So we'll see how big of an impact that has on their running game at Manzano. But also, I'm really curious to see the game I'm going to be directing Friday night, Rio Rancho and Mayfield. I feel like we both know both of these teams are going to be powerhouses, but we don't know exactly what order they're going to fall in, and I think it's going to be a huge game to see kind of mix up the top five in the state.
All right. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I'm curious about Rio Rancho's offense. I think more than anything, I think that's the big question mark. I think everyone knows their defense is going to be really good. You mentioned Xavier Ivy Sod, Alden, and interesting that maybe if this was a Friday or Saturday game, that maybe he plays, but it's looking maybe doubtful for him to get the start against Atrisco. We'll see if they even need him. But yeah, there are some interesting games, and you look at maybe the game that interests me the most is a game that aren't really two competitor or contenders maybe for state titles, but pretty evenly matched. How about the Thursday matchup against West Mesa and Del Norte? I feel like our picks might be split here. And what I'm curious about, Josh Brown, if you could wheel your way over to that microphone, is, did you go with your Knights? Are you gonna? Is this where you're gonna hold strong with your guys?
Oh yeah, gotta go with the alma mater. We'll see here later with the pick'ems, but yeah, Del Norte West Mesa. That's the one. 5A, 6A, city matchup.
Yeah.
And this is, opening week, everyone's saying, oh, they weren't too great last year, but hey, let's see what happens. They're both looking good.
Are you trying to fit Alden's head under that bracket? Okay.
There it is. But the real one is, Mayfield and Rio Rancho. You can't get much better than that. That is a semifinal state championship matchup, and we're getting that week one.
I agree. What about the My 50 game of the week, guys, with La Cueva, who everyone's starting to kind of get behind. They did really well against the Rio Rancho Rams in the scrimmage, and offensively we're not sure where they're going to be. And then Cibola is a new-look type team, but I think flying under the radar with Rod Williams and company.
I guess as a Cibola alum, I'll go first.
Okay.
Way
to step up.
I actually didn't pick La Cueva. I actually picked La Cueva to win this game. I think, like you said, I feel like they're flying under the radar. I know they didn't make the playoffs last year, but I feel like they aren't getting the credit they deserve. I feel like they're definitely getting underlooked because of teams like Rio Rancho, Cleveland, Volcano, Pedro Vista, just to list a few of their opponents in that district.
Yeah.
So I think Cibola is going to do a lot better than people think they're going to do, but I don't think it's going to start week one against La Cueva.
Well, it's an interesting matchup. Oh, guys, we're going to get more of your picks, including my picks, right, as we return. So, Alden, you're the defending champ. Let's see if we can take you down. Let's see who we picked coming up next. Our interns here at Proview Sports Network get pretty competitive. Rivalries are real. So with the big matchup between the El Dorado Eagles and the La Cueva Bears, time to make my pick here on the Proview Rundown. I'm going to go with the El Dorado Eagles. You know, I'm going to change my decision, and I'm going to go with the La Cueva Bears. They're feeling it. All right, hey, calm down. Guys, you do it every time. This is ridiculous. You know what? I'm going to be in Macon.
Football's back right here on Proview Sports Network. All the best rivalries, all the best action, every game on Proview Sports Network, Comcast 26, and the game of the week on My 50 TV. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons.
4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
All right, Jason Poole, it's time to get our pickups in. So what's first? What's our first game of the season that we've got here?
Let's just put the whole thing up first.
All right.
All right, so first game is Monzano-Atrisco.
Monzano-Atrisco. Okay, guys, with all respect to Patrick Johnson and Atrisco, I went with Monzano. I don't think anybody else went away from that. Is this true?
That's true. That's the truth.
All
Yep,
right.
that was consistent.
All right. Del Norte, West Mesa.
Del Norte, West Mesa. Okay, guys, I went with Del Norte. I went with Josh Brown's Knights on this one, the 5A Fighting Knights.
Hey, me too.
Just seems that Alden and Sebastian's went the other way, so that could be a deal breaker.
You know, West Mesa, Ron McMath, he just got a fresh victory off the North-South All-Star game, so maybe he can keep that momentum rolling into the season.
Just a side note on that, Sebastian Knoll is a Del Norte alum. Come on, Sebastian.
Oh, and so he went with West Mesa.
Yeah, Sebastian went with his adopted new home, West Mesa.
Okay.
All right, Sandia, Rio Grande.
Alden?
Yeah, Sandy all day. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to Rio Grande, but it's a program that just, hasn't been in the place ever since Atrisco's open, really.
And it makes a big difference, too, when you can't have people coming off the bench stepping up in other roles, too. Depth definitely plays a big part in that.
All right, what else we got?
Mayfield, Rio Rancho.
Guys, I went with my Rams. Come on.
I think Josh is the only one that went the other way.
Shocker.
I think Mayfield's angry. I mean, they didn't make it to the state finals last year. They have that pride with them. I feel Mayfield's angry, and Rio Rancho might be, they might think it's a cakewalk. It's week 1. I don't know if they're going to take week 1 seriously. I think Mayfield upsets them at home.
Well, I mean, it's. I don't know if it would be an upset per se, just because of who Mayfield is, but Rio Rancho's probably favored. I mean, obviously I'm going to go Rams regardless, guys. Like that's where I'm going to go with this. Jay, will you quickly switch over to is that a sombrero you're wearing? What is that?
Oh yeah, this is since I never got a trophy for the pick'ems. I'm just gonna call this the victory sombrero. So I'm gonna start this every week. Whoever wins that week gets to rock the sombrero.
I like it. So that's new? There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay. All right, that's the deal. All right, so new victory sombrero is what it is. What else do we got on there, Jason?
Oñate, Cleveland, and everybody went Cleveland.
Everyone's got Cleveland. Does everyone have Cruces over El Dorado?
No. I went with El Dorado on the road, man. Charlie, I thought I was going to change it up from last year, but I think this year it's going to stick. I'm going Charlie Dotson. His grit, his coaching is going to get it done down at the Field of Dreams.
I'm not saying El Dorado doesn't have a chance. All right, Josh, you just love to go against the grain early.
Can we say devil's advocate?
Yeah, right. Just to cause controversy. Well, hey, you know what? If it happens, you're going to be ahead of everyone right away. All right, what else do we got?
St. Pius Highland.
Guys, I went with Highland on this one. I know how much St. Pius lost from last year. I don't know much about Highland. I just,
you make some good points. But I'd say that the reason why I picked St. Pius is, even though they have a lot of new starters coming up, is they were in a lot of 50-0 type games last year, so they did get reps, even if it was against the second team. But they got some reps in last year, so maybe they can carry it over to this year. But I agree with you. I think this game's not going to be what it seems on paper.
Josh Brown, you went with Highland.
I did go with Highland. A lot of games last year at the end. Highland stepped it up towards the end of the year, so I'm hoping that momentum keeps going through. And this year, they just add on where they left off last year.
All of us went with Clovis over Hobbs. All of us went with Volcano Vista over Valley. So we'll see. We're going to put this on social media. We're going to put this on Twitter. And we want to know what you think. Give us your picks as well, because there is no right answer. Trust me. Alden Iwani, he is our defending champ from last year. He is the winner. He's got the sombrero on. So we'll see if that sticks. One more time, Jason, if we could look at the top 10 poll, Proview's first top 10 poll of the season. And I want to get your thoughts real quick. Top 5, I think it's, pretty close to what the coaches poll is out. The coaches poll on NMOTSC just came out. Really similar. I guess obviously tough to tell. I don't know. I don't see the state championship going far from those first 5, maybe 6 teams. Guys?
I think we're all in agreement there. Monzano is, to start out the year, Monzano's the hope for the city. La Cueva's getting that hype. So maybe those 2 teams from the city. But, Rio Rancho, Las Cruces, they are.
I would definitely say Las Cruces is still top tier, number 1. With all the people that they're returning, but as far as all the other top 5, that's gonna fluctuate just in this week.
I also think that I don't know how good Mayfield's going to be this year. I kind of have my doubts. I saw them play last year, and they had explosive players like Isaac Vance still on their team, and they didn't really impress me all that much. So I don't know if Mayfield's going to stick around. Also, with the other team I see up there is Volcano Vista. I don't really know how long they're going to stay in the top 10 this year, with Cormier and Streets and Dylan Gassaway and all these weapons leaving. So I don't think it's going to work out for the Hawks.
Are we disrespecting Rio Rancho by not putting them number 1?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
They have to earn it first. I feel like they have some proving to do. But number 3, Cleveland, Angelo Trujillo coming back as quarterback. I think that's going to be huge for the Cleveland Storm. Rio Rancho apparently has one of the better defenses to start off the year. So we'll see. I can't wait for that offensive and defensive clash whenever they meet up in district.
I think we're going to learn a lot week 1. Real quick before we get out of here, interesting note, as you look at the schedule, Rio Rancho in the 3rd week of the season has a date against Monzano at Wilson Stadium. How about that? So first few games, Rio Rancho's got a couple of tough battles with Mayfield and then Monzano. So we're going to find out who they are immediately, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see how Jordan Bird does. Are we for sure he's playing quarterback? That's his position this year?
Jordan Bird right now is listed at quarterback, so
Hey, we'll see if that. I mean, with that quickness and explosiveness, that could define a couple games.
I'm also pretty interested to see how Centennial does this year. They had a good year last year, so we'll see how the three teams from Las Cruces do. That's pretty much where
I
my
am
mind's
interested in
at.
Centennial as well, and Centennial does make the trip up here for a couple times, so we get to see them, and we'll have them on Proview Sports Network, especially a date with Cleveland, which is very interesting. All right, that's the crew. That is the sombrero that Alden Iowani is wearing currently until I take it over next week. We'll see it tomorrow again live on the Proview Rundown.